Alright guys, so I moved and changed some things around. Let's start from the top. So I've got this over here. I'm going to experiment with this ham clock and some other stuff on the Raspberry Pi and see. Right now the HDMI cable doesn't work. I got to find a different one. So I've moved some of my other stuff over here. Put all the HTs over here. Most of them anyways. And I put the Heathkit tuner up here. Just got this sitting up here for now. There's that scope and this one and some other crap laying around. I moved the 102 tuner, 102, the speaker over here with the matching MD1 microphone. I've got my spare 102 that kind of has some issues. Got the Matchbox KW 756 Pro, 746 Pro, and then I added this computer down here, which is like whatever Integrity ProRax is. They've got their name branded on the motherboard, I guess. And I installed Linux on that, and it's a Core i5. It's got four cores. I don't understand what's the i5 mean. Like, you think it was like Core i5, it would be like 5 cores. Maybe there's another virtual 5th core. I don't know much about that. I got this radio here. I haven't had time to fiddle with. It's missing some stuff, but everything is pretty much there otherwise. I just don't have the top of the case. It does kind of work, but there's no audio out on receive. So, but it does transmit. There's some other issues. The tag on it says it needs a tube, but it doesn't look like it needs one to me. And I got E901 down here, which is kind of a dangerous place, because like if this case was to shove into it, you know. So I probably need to move that somewhere else. Maybe I can trade spots with the server. That's actually not a server. In fact, if it was, it would be great, because I could put server RAM in it. And then I got the power supply here, and then I've been using this tuner. I'll put this radio here just to get it out of the way. And then got this amplifier here, it's back up, and then the Ten-Tech. I recently found a bunch of posts by the guy that had this, and my concern is if you look at the screws, they're like all like sharp and boogered beyond belief. Like he just like really screwed them up, or somebody did. But I guess there was a posting on a contest for him. He was asking for help on it. Something about one of the transistors that like has something to do with the bias supply goes bad. Something else, this and that. So I haven't had too much trouble with it. It works. But I don't know. So the main reason that I stick with these kind of amps is because I have an SV220 and they all use the same tubes. So it's just simple. I honestly, like, unless I'm rag chewing on 80, I don't really like turning the amp on. I actually prefer not to. Just because, especially if it's hot in here. So then we got this Hermes Light project that I thought maybe if a reflow chip, and I don't even know if I reflowed it or not, because I don't know what temperature it needs to be, but it is now lighting up everything. Whereas before it would just light up like one of the ADC, and then the run would flash. Well, now these two are lighting up and these two are flashing, and this link will occasionally do something, but I can't recognize it with the SDR console or SDR Spark or Thetis or anything, so I'm not able to get it to work. And when the guy installed this, he installed the heatsink upside down, and he knocked some jumpers off the bottom of the board underneath this area. There shouldn't be a heat sink in there right now. I think that the heat sink is unnecessary. That people said that like it's not necessary, that tons of these are in service without one. I don't know. So the thing is, do I want to spend $282 or something like that for another one of these boards? Because I already have this board. And I already have the case. I guess the case is now $16. I think this board back here is about $59. And then this board here. I'm wondering, in 10 years from now, are these still going to work? Are they going to be obsolete? Or are you going to not be able to run them? Can you run them in Linux? You know, I don't think you can run Thetis on Linux, and that seems like the whole reason to run these. And it's only, you know, about 5 watts. So these are the finals in it. They're tiny. So I'm not really sure how the heatsink's going to do anything for that anyway. These devices are on the top of the board. Your heatsink isn't even going to go anywhere on them. I can see if you put a heatsink on top of them, maybe. Anyway, this one doesn't work. I can't get it to work. I don't know what's wrong with it. I contacted the guy. He was a prick. The guy Steve Heinel or whatever. He told me for no amount of money would I consider working on that device. I'm not interested in working on or repairing any of them. And he said maybe someone else in the group would consider working on it for financial compensation. And I just thought the guy really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because it's supposed to be his master creation, and he's supposed to be also one of the guys that does warranty repair work for them. And that was his response. So, if I buy this thing for $280 something and replace it, and I have problems with it, then I got to deal with him. Or Maker Fabs, you know. But anyway, got that there. So the 3000's over here, 920. I had 751A with the matching tuner, and it almost kind of period correct ICOM 25 watt 2 meter radio that doesn't have PL tones, the IC25A. So, and then this radio is sitting here. It's supposed to be a guy coming to buy it in a few days. He's going to drive down here from Las Vegas or something. So that should be getting sold. And the 1200 is in the house being used for when I want to do FT8 and whatnot, sitting on top of the 940. So that's pretty much kind of what I'm doing. Got this area. I really need to get rid of some of these printers. Since my computer's screwed up, I don't have the ability to print with this one anymore, because I don't have the there's no profile on Cura, and I don't remember any of the other ones working well. I had to go and get a profile. Somebody else uploaded the profile, and I stuck it in a folder somewhere, and it kind of makes what looks like a normal profile on Cura. And I had it printing pretty good, but it's always been kind of a pain in the butt. Lots of print failures. Very fast, though. So the Elegoo Neptune has been the one that I've been using to print all of the rails and everything like that. They get the green stuff in here. And I've got a bag of parts to play around with when I'm bored for the other deal. And I'm going to practice some stuff with the surface mount removal. I removed a similar chip like this with it. It came off real easy, but I don't remember what my heat setting was. So I need to do some experimenting and learning with this and get myself a little more familiar with that. And then I had the Game Boy here, still sitting there, not been able to repair it. The screen started to get better, then got worse. So it doesn't really matter. So we got this one here. The thing is, I had fun modding these, but in the end, I think it was all kind of a waste of money, because there's no, I don't need to print a bunch of stuff at once. But if I did, then it would be okay, except for the reliability. This one's got the yellow springs. They've been changed. I can't remember if I changed them. I think I bought them. Yeah, but Dave had this, and I just put the box of parts over. He went from an SKR board with the old connector. You see how big the hole is on here? It's large because it had the other size USB. So he took the original, like, 8-bit board, put a SCAR Mini in it, put a different SCAR Mini screen and board here. Then he pulled all that. He put the 4.27 and then this display, and then he put the BL Touch. So when I got it, I put the direct drive on it, and I put the extra lead screw in, I did the drawer. My drawer is on printables if you want to make a drawer for your Ender 3 Pro. And then I printed this cap here to cover the end where the old thing used to be. So, see, these printers here have end stops. I believe these are just not even connected. But it does have an actual BL Touch. So, it's running a professional firmware. And I have other print bed surfaces that I could use for this. I could go PEI. The thing is, I just don't really have the need or desire to print with it. And I'm kind of like, well, I don't want to throw out the glass beds because I'm using them, but this one is pretty bad. So that one's sitting there, and this thing here is the big printer, and it works pretty good. And I did the direct drive conversion, printed this guy's cover for it, and swapped it out from, this was the original cover. So this is a good printer. And then we have over here this one here. I'm going to probably remove everything off of this and sell this thing cheap, because I don't need 3 Ender 3s. This is a V2, I think. Yeah, so I have a Neo and I have a Pro. Now, I could do this 2 different ways. I could pull this one and take all the crap off of here and put it on the Pro, and that's probably the better way to do it. But one of them needs to go, and so I got this sheet here I found too in a box of parts. It's not magnetic. See, Dave had been printing this stuff for a really long time. And he has lots of stuff. He even had like ANET printers. So, what I could do with this one, since I kind of prefer this printer over the other style, because these ones, I think they have a different rail here, okay? And then they have a different offset here. So the width of this might be different. I'm not sure. I have to go look at it again, but then I got this stuff over here. So basically, there's just stuff everywhere, and I'll barely have room to play my guitars and stuff like that when I want to. Toolboxes, tools, more tools. These two printers here, I need to put them somewhere else. I don't have time to use them. One of them works good, one of them doesn't work good. And one of them, the screen flips out. I never did solve that problem. If one of these could be designed to run with Klipper, then there might be some potential there. If one of these, you just took the whole computer out of it and ran it with something else, there'd probably be some potential there. It's basically a Titan extruder with CR10 type of stuff. But it's a Maker something, MK something motherboard, and I should remember if it's touchscreen. I think it's actually touchscreen. So it's kind of a neat deal, but I don't know what to do with it. So if I need to print something, I'm not going to use any of these unless it was something really big. And then I have inside the house an SV06 Plus, so like actually that one is pretty good. It's the fastest out of the big printers that I have. This one here isn't too bad. This one's also touchscreen, but an 8-bit weird computer that runs the filament dryer. I don't know if I should sell this one or get rid of it. The only thing I don't like about it is that they put the power supply right here instead of back there, and the screen is hanging out the front. This thing is this much longer than it needs to be, and it's hard to fit it on a table. So it's big. It takes up a lot more room than the average printer of the same size. Just the way they designed it, I think it's kind of stupid. I suppose if I wanted to, you got to reach up into here to turn it off too. The switch is in here. Let's see. This one, I thought for sure it wasn't going to ever work again because I bricked it, but I was able to reflash it from here. It was a real pain. So these things, like, if I didn't have all these printers, I'd have a lot more room for sure, but nobody wants to buy them, so you can't get rid of them where I live. But it's amazing how Amazon sells Enders and all sorts of, basic printers all day long. And if I was to sell something like this for $50, nobody would buy it. And this has got like I think the computer is about $30. I think the screen's about $59. The BL Touch is like about $40, and the Dual Z screw kit was like $36. So then you got springs. This one here, what I need to do is put a PEI bed on it. I've got the magnetic sheets and everything. I've also got stick-on PEI overture pieces. They won't cover the whole thing, but they'll cover a lot of it. Then I've got down here a 24 volt 100 amp hour battery and 3000 watt charge controller all in one. It only has a 40 amp MPPT in it, so I don't run anything off of this except for in the evening. I'll run the air conditioner off of it when the sun's down, and then during the day it just charges all by itself. And then I get this mess over here of all these different EP Evers and then MPP solar, and that is running both of them right now, 2 air conditioners. So I could technically run the whole shack off of this, especially in the winter. Like right now, we're putting out 1.28 kilowatt. That's instantaneous. So if you were to run all day long for 8 hours, you'd be, 9 point something kilowatt hours. The load is 1.35. So anyway, in the corner here, we got some other stuff I gotta clean up, but basically it's a mess, guys. This is a mess, but it's kind of a man cave, so it is what it is.